Okay, so when you hear the word philosophy, what comes to mind? Probably, dusty old books, complicated debates about stuff that doesn't really matter. But what if I told you that's all wrong? What if philosophy isn't something you study, but something you actually do? We're so used to thinking of it as a bunch of ideas to memorize. But the real magic, the real value, what if that comes from doing, not just knowing?
So, this gets right to the heart of an amazing question that was once put to a really influential Filipino philosopher, Roque Ferriols. Someone basically asked him, hey, can we create a Filipino philosophy? Build a whole new school of thought from scratch that really captures the culture? It's a great question, right? Well, his answer, let's just say nobody saw it coming. And there you have it, just a flat out no. He literally said trying to intentionally create a Filipino philosophy is just another way of wasting time. So for Ferriols, you just can't manufacture philosophy like it's a product on an assembly line. He thought it was pointless, like blowing bubbles against the wind. So that really makes you wonder, right? If you can't make it, then what the heck is it?
And that leads us right here to this huge shift in thinking. Philosophy is an activity, not a doctrine. See, Farrell says it's not about memorizing a bunch of answers for a test. It's something you live. It's a verb, not a noun. And honestly, that changes everything, especially for us today, right? We're always so focused on productivity, on making something tangible. But this idea, it kind of pushes back on that. This is his killer analogy, and it's so simple but so perfect. Think about it. You learn to ride a bike by riding a bike. You learn to swim by getting in the water and swimming. It's the same for philosophy. You can read every book on the physics of a bicycle, study diagrams, watch videos, but none of that matters until you actually get on the thing and push the pedals. Verrios is saying philosophy is exactly like that. You just gotta do it. Which brings us to my favorite part. Just jump in the water. This whole idea of jumping in is perfectly captured in this fantastic story that Ferriols used to tell. It just perfectly shows the massive difference between, talking about something and actually doing it. Okay, so just picture this scene. You've got a group of students, they're all super eager, and they're there to learn how to swim. But instead of being in swimsuits with goggles and towels, they're standing by the edge of the pool holding notebooks and pens. It's like they're getting ready for a lecture, not a swim. They're there to study the water, not actually get in it. So the instructor starts giving these totally practical step-by-step instructions. First practice splashing, then go under with your eyes open. Lie on your stomach, you'll see, you'll float. It's all stuff you have to physically do in the water. But the students, they're not doing anything. They're just writing it all down. Seriously, carefully noting every single step, mastering the theory, and completely, utterly missing the point. And then, finally, the instructor gets to the most crucial command, the one thing that connects all that theory to reality. He just yells at them, "Lunda ginmo, baby," which means, jump in, baby. This is it. This is the moment of truth. The big invitation to stop writing and start doing. And they don't jump. Can you believe it? They just keep writing. They write down the instruction, "Jump in, baby," in their notebooks. I mean, they've totally confused the description of the thing with the thing itself. So they leave with these perfect, detailed notes, probably thinking they've learned to swim, but they never even touch the water. And that, right there, for Ferriols, that's how so many people approach philosophy. We just keep taking notes, but we never ever get wet. So, okay, what does getting wet or doing philosophy actually mean then? Well, for Ferriols, it's not about memorizing Plato or getting an A on your ethics paper. It all comes down to a really personal act that he just calls seeing. And it's not just looking, it's an authentic, totally unscripted moment of awakening to what's really, truly right there in front of you. And this comparison just nails it. On the one hand, you have the formula. So kids are asked to draw a real flower that's sitting right there. But what do? They draw the idea of a flower they have in their head. The circle in the middle with the big simple petals. They're following a rule, not actually seeing the unique flower. But then, on the other hand, you have the awakening. A little kid sees his own shadow for the very first time. He's totally captivated. He's full of questions. What is that thing? Is it mud? He's in a moment of pure discovery. That genuine wonder, that act of seeing something for the first time, that's doing philosophy. And this is exactly why Ferriols hated it when people called his classes an experiment. I mean, think about it. An experiment has a procedure, right? a set of steps you can follow over and over to get the same result. But you can't bottle a moment of genuine insight. An awakening like that can't be scripted or put into a system. It's always brand new because it's you who's seeing it, and you're seeing it for the very first time.
Man, this quote is powerful. Nothing kills philosophy more instantly than evaluations in terms of success or failure. I mean, wow, that just turns our whole idea of school on its head, doesn't it? If philosophy is about the act of seeing, you can't slap a grade on it. The point isn't to write a successful paper or find the right answer. The whole entire point is just to do the seeing. The process is everything. The product, not so much.
All right, so this brings us to the big challenge, the challenge to truly see. Because what we're talking about here isn't just some abstract theory for a philosophy class. No way. It's a direct challenge to every single one of us, to how we learn, how we work, and how we just experience the world day to day.
So what does this way of thinking demand from us? Well, first, it demands we shift from just passively soaking things up to actually engaging. We have to stop being those students by the pool, just taking notes. Second, it's about valuing that personal aha moment of discovery way more than just memorizing facts. It's also about having the courage to ask your own questions, not just the ones on the syllabus. And maybe most importantly, it's about recognizing that this is on you. You're the one who has to do the seeing. Nobody can do it for you.
And so that really leaves us with one last question to chew on. Think about your day so far. You've been looking at things all day long, right? Screens, faces, maybe the sky, your coffee cup. But how much of that was just automatic looking? You know, like drawing that formula of a flower from memory. And how much of it was a moment of genuine, curious seeing? So I'll ask you, after all that looking, what did you truly see today?